Hey, did you know the average SUV costs nearly $12,000 a year to maintain? But not all of them drain your wallet. So today you'll discover 13 SUVs you can buy and never worry about repairs. Some of these even outlast sedans while holding strong resale value. One of them can actually hit 1 million miles and stick around for the bonus at the end, where I expose 2 SUVs you should never buy. Kicking things off at number 13 is the Toyota Sequoia. Everybody knows that large 3-row SUVs have short lifespans, which is what makes the Sequoia even more impressive. With a rugged engine and body-on-frame construction, Toyota's largest SUV was built with longevity in mind. iSeeCars ranks the Sequoia as the longest-lasting SUV. It has a 36.4% chance of reaching 250,000 miles. That is 4 times more than the average car. However, these SUVs routinely pass the 500,000-mile mark with little maintenance. These vehicles seat up to 8 passengers and can tow up to 9,250 pounds. Under the hood, you get a hybrid V6 delivering 437 ponies. However, all of that power means you only get 20 miles per gallon combined. Older versions have a 5.8-liter V8 that does between 16 and 18 miles per gallon combined. Fortunately, the maintenance costs other than fuel are decent. Over the first 10 years of ownership you can expect to pay roughly $6,869 for maintenance and repairs. By comparison, the average annual maintenance bill sits at about $1,500. The major downside of the Sequoia is the cost. The 2025 version starts at $59,600. However, I recommend any of the ones made in the past few years. If you want a bit more tech, go with the 2020 version. You'll save half the cost but still get a vehicle that won't retire before you do. Next up is another massive luxury SUV that is built like a vampire. Number 12 is the Lexus GX. There is a reason the Lexus GX has remained the best luxury off-roading SUV for decades. While vehicles like the Jeep Grand Cherokee and the Land Rover have struggled with quality control issues, the GX has remained consistent. Whether you go with the first-generation GX470, second-gen GX460, or the current 550, you can't go wrong. Each of these boasts a strong body-on-frame chassis and a bulletproof engine. According to iSeeCars, 20.7% of these babies cross 250,000 miles, which is pretty much unheard of for a luxury badge. What's more impressive is just how little maintenance is needed. Within the first 100,000 miles, most owners only pay for oil changes and routine maintenance. If you're unlucky, you might get a $1,000 repair at about 120,000 miles. That's a lot less than you'd spend on a Jeep or Tesla under warranty. But I digress. The major downside of these tanks is fuel economy. You get an abysmal 17 miles per gallon combined, which is actually less than the larger Sequoia. These cars also start at $64,672. However, that's less than half the price of a Mercedes G-Class, which starts at $149,400 and, honestly, costs a lot more to maintain. So if you're looking for a luxury car for family adventures, only one SUV deserves your money. But if you're after a cheap crossover that won't let you down, the next pick will shock you. At number 11, we have the Kia Sorento. I get it. Both Kia and Hyundai have a bad reputation. They've had a few major setbacks like their combusting Theta 2 engine and rising insurance costs. In fact, the only brand that has had it worse is VW with its Dieselgate debacle. However, Kia has made massive strides in the past few years, and the Sorento is one of them. J.D. Power gave the Sorento a quality and reliability score of 82, which is the same as the Subaru Ascent, but better than the Honda Pilot. And if we're being honest, this is a much better looking car than those two. And just like the Sequoia and GX, the Sorento is also a 3-row SUV. However, it boasts an impressive fuel economy of 26 miles per gallon combined. But unlike those two, I highly recommend you get the newest model. With a starting price of $31,990, it's cheaper than a used luxury SUV. Yet it offers new and better tech, and is just as much fun to drive. Now, the main reason for including the Kia on this list is its industry-leading warranty. Both Kia and Hyundai offer an unprecedented 10-year powertrain warranty. This means you literally don't have to worry about any expensive repairs. The car maker has also improved its dealer network, which means parts arrive more quickly. Still, if you'd rather not see the inside of an auto shop for any reason, the next brand doesn't disappoint. Coming in at number 10 is the Subaru Outback. Did you know that the Outback was one of the first crossover SUVs sold in the US? It's been 30 years and still no other brand does it quite like the Outback. Subaru's policy of if it's not broke, don't fix it has worked really well. Besides, this car almost never breaks down. This wagon SUV blend easily crosses 200,000 miles with regular maintenance and good driving habits. By the way, if you tend to wear your cars out quickly, you need to watch this video before your next upgrade. 17 car maintenance secrets mechanics don't want you to know. Back to the Outback. Just like all cars made in Japan, Subaru uses high-quality materials. Stellantis should be taking notes. The other thing that enhances durability is the always-on symmetrical all-wheel drive. Unlike optional AWD, you get consistent power distribution to all wheels, which improves stability, handling, safety, and traction. Under the hood is Subaru's legendary 2.5-liter boxer engine. However, I recommend the 2.4-liter turbo that delivers 260 horsepower. It uses a bit more fuel, but it's a lot more fun to drive. The Subaru Outback is also a top IUHS Top Safety Pick Plus, and it holds its value really well. If you want to save a bit of money, get the 2020 version, which kicked off the 6th generation, or you can wait to see if any other Subaru makes this list. But before then, let's check in with Subaru's nemesis. Honda Pilot takes the number 9 spot. If you're looking for an SUV that blows you away with its handling, styling, and tech, that's not the Pilot. However, if you want a safe, reliable off-roading vehicle for your family, then this could be your next daily driver. Honda's 3-row SUV has been a favorite for families and mechanics alike for decades, with no signs of slowing down. That's not a surprise, considering Honda is often ranked near or at the top of all major reliability rankings. According to IC Cars, 17.5% of Honda Pilots exceed 250,000 miles. One of my favorites is the 2nd generation, introduced in 2009. It offers a large, rugged, and boxy exterior, and a bulletproof 3.5-liter V6 and 5-speed automatic. These cars can run forever, but they require some critical maintenance. The main one is the timing belt, which needs to be changed every 7 or 8 years or 100,000 miles. Any delays, and it will drastically reduce engine life. This generation also had a problem with fading clear coat on the hood and roof. You'd need to repaint it every 100,000 miles or so. Not bad, considering your annual maintenance costs will be much lower than average. Still, there is one close competitor that's even better, but we'll get to that much later. Sliding in at number 8 is the Toyota RAV4. Ever since the RAV4 switched over to a continuously variable transmission in 2019, enthusiasts haven't been as excited about it. But with the redesign for 2026, Toyota is hoping to win back the crowd. Still, the RAV4 is the best-selling car in the United States of all time, and that's likely to keep going. The main selling points of the RAV4 are its easy drivability, solid chassis, bulletproof engine, and its resale value. Unlike a typical midsize SUV, this ride can take a beating from accidents and keep on ticking. Many owners have driven these past 150,000 miles without a single major repair. I highly recommend the 3rd generation, especially the 2010. These guys get up to 250,000 miles and you barely would have spent anything. It also has the option of a 3.5-liter V6 that delivers 269 horsepower and 248 pound-feet of torque. Plus, it does 0 to 60 in 6.5 seconds. The 2017 and 2018 models are also great, and they have real automatic transmissions. Newer models only come with an inline 4, delivering 203 ponies and 184 pound-feet of torque. However, the hybrid version starting next year will spit out 320 horsepower and promise to get this timeless classic back on track. If you can't wait that long or want something even more luxurious next, we have one of the most underrated SUVs ever. Number 7 is the Acura RDX. For some weird reason, Acura has been highly underappreciated in the US market. Perhaps it's because it lacks the exterior styling of a luxury brand, or it just lacks the prestige. Whatever the reason is, it's great news for used car buyers. It means you can get one of the best SUVs on the market for dirt cheap. For example, you can get a 2013 RDX for less than the price of a RAV4 or even a Nissan Murano. Interestingly, the 2013 to 2018 models use the same powertrain as the Pilot and Ridgeline. That means you get the rugged engine, but with a luxury interior. Those models come with a 3.5-liter V6 with a 6-speed automatic, dropping 273 ponies. Newer models have a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder and a 10-speed automatic, delivering 272 horsepower. In terms of reliability, many users get to 150,000 miles without major repairs. That is almost unheard of for a luxury SUV. The only brand that does better is, of course, Lexus. However, you have to keep on top of regular maintenance, including transmission fluid changes, which some dealers overlook. If you need a bit more space, the MDX is also incredibly reliable, just not as reliable as the next SUV. At number 6, we have the Toyota 4Runner. There is an entire generation of men who refuse to drive any other vehicle than the 4Runner if they could afford it. 4 decades later, and it is still one of the most popular off-roading SUVs. Despite the mountain of abuse it suffers on the trail, 4Runners just keep going. According to iSeeCars, 26.8% of these SUVs cross 250,000 miles. This puts them behind only the Toyota Tundra and the Sequoia. J.D. Power gives it a reliability score of 86, which is honestly impressive for a larger off-roader. The newest version starts at $42,000 and was built for people who want that classic car feel but with, all the modern features. It has an upgraded tech package, driver assistance features, and a larger infotainment screen. If you want more power, the hybrid version has 326 horsepower instead of 278 horsepower from the Turbo 4. But if you want a bulletproof drivetrain, the V8 engine in the 4th generation is pretty much unmatched. These engines can last 1,000,000 miles with proper care. We've still got one more Toyota on this list, but next, we've got a different Japanese brand. Number 5 is the Mazda CX-5. Cracking the top 5 is a small SUV that has arguably the best styling and handling on this list. It is also the best-selling Mazda, better than the Mazda 3 and the Miata, and honestly, it deserves it. The Mazda CX-5 does something no other Japanese SUV does, which is to combine road manners with reliability. RepairPal ranks this petite SUV 4.5 out of 5 stars for reliability. With proper care, these rides cross 200,000 miles without major repairs. But unlike cars that are driven for 20 years, the CX-5 looks stylish in any generation. Even though this compact has failed to best the RAV4 in sales, it boasts much better handling, tech, and consumer loyalty. And unlike its fellow Japanese car makers, the CX-5 does not use a CVT. That alone is reason enough to choose this over the RAV4 or CR-V. The only downside with Mazda's bestseller is that it is more cramped than competitors and is not as fuel efficient. However, this is an all-wheel drive and it has a real 6-speed automatic. So this gets the nod from me. The 2025 model year starts at $28,770. But if you want to save some money, go for the 2016 to 2017. At number 4, we have the Subaru Forester. Now we come to our second and sadly the final Subaru on this list, but this one is a banger. Consumer Reports gave the Forester an astonishing predicted reliability score of 98. That is much more than any other SUV on this list. In fact, the Forester is almost single-handedly the reason why Consumer Reports has ranked Subaru as the most dependable car brand. That says a lot, considering how far the Forester fell roughly a decade ago with its oil-burning engine. Fortunately, Subaru was able to right the ship and deliver the most reliable off-roading vehicle. Subaru also fixed the problem with the CVT. As long as you change the CVT fluid every 30,000 miles, you won't have any problems. The starting price of the 2025 model is pretty decent at $29,995. However, I recommend the 2020 model instead. It has the same 2.5-liter boxer engine and symmetrical all-wheel drive, but be warned, the driver assistance features on this are a bit sensitive. Luckily, you can adjust the sensitivity, which many drivers don't know. The Forester also holds its value really well for whenever you're ready to upgrade, and we've got just the car. Number 3 is the Lexus RX. Did you know that the RX invented the luxury crossover segment? This was way back in 1998. Before then, drivers either chose a luxury sedan or a burly SUV. Then came Toyota to save the day. But beneath its stylish good looks, functional tech, and comfortable seating lies a very dependable car. In What Car's reliability survey, the 2016 to 2022 Lexus RX was named as the most reliable luxury SUV with an astonishing score of 98.8%. While the RX is a classic, the hybrid version is even more reliable, according to Consumer Reports. Both of these were refreshed for 2025, with a starting price of $49,125 for the non-hybrid and $51,425 for the hybrid. The latter boasts a stronger engine and better fuel economy. However, I recommend the 2020 to 2022. These come with a reliable 3.5-liter V6 engine, an 8-speed automatic, and tons of safety features as standard. You will easily drive these cars past 250,000 miles without major issues. These cars hold their value incredibly well due to their unmatched reliability for a luxury brand. That means even a 2018 model can be more expensive than the brand new version of the next SUV. Our runner-up is the Honda CR-V. Toyota RAV4's eternal nemesis. These cars have gone neck and neck for decades, but the Toyota has always managed to stay slightly ahead. Not anymore. Car and Driver ranked the 2025 Honda CR-V a perfect 10 out of 10, whereas the RAV4 only got 8 out of 10. The CR-V gets the edge because of its standard driver assist features, better handling, and slightly better fuel economy. You get an astounding 30 miles per gallon combined, which is the best in its class. Under the hood is a turbocharged 1.5-liter 4-cylinder engine delivering 190 horsepower. It also has a CVT transmission, but Honda has finally perfected their formula. At a starting price of $30,920, you get a lot of value. The CR-V is also an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus, but what we really love about it is the longevity and low maintenance. Many owners of the second generation, which is from 2002 to 2006, are bearing down on the 500,000 mile mark. That was also arguably the best generation because these cars refuse to die. Plus they have the cute picnic table at the back. But even models like the 2012 have been known to go 150,000 miles without a repair, literally zero repairs besides routine maintenance. Even though the CR-V has finally taken down the RAV4 in at least this department, there is one Toyota it can't measure up to yet. Taking the first spot is the Toyota Highlander. There is a reason mechanics hate customers with Highlanders. They never make them any money. This mid-size crossover was built as the more refined version of the 4Runner. This means that it has the same rugged styling on the inside and lasts just as long, if not longer. The Highlander beat out the other cars on this list because despite being a 3-row SUV, the engines are built to surpass 500,000 miles. The best part is that it doesn't matter whether you get the 4-cylinder engine or the V6, they're both great. Another major selling point for the Highlander is its impressive fuel economy. You get up to 36 miles per gallon with the hybrid version, which is better than some sedans. Toyota also loaded this car with tons of driver assistance features. That is why it is a IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winner. While the latest model offers new and exciting tech, the first generation is still a banging choice. The 2007 in particular has been ranked as the most reliable. They can take a beating and keep going. But be warned, once you buy a Highlander, you'll keep coming back. That's it for the top 13 SUVs to buy, and never worry about repairs. It's now time to look at 2 SUVs you should never buy. Number 2, Jeep Wrangler. If sales equaled reliability, the Jeep Wrangler would be the best off-roading SUV. While it is the most iconic, it is also the most problematic, at least in recent times. The first major problems didn't start until about the late 2000s. Since then, Jeep vehicles, and the Wrangler in particular, have been recalled for every conceivable reason. First was the totally integrated power module. These systems would fail at random times and affect critical components like starting, lighting, and other electricals. They would also cause stalling and issues with the anti-lock braking system. Next was the infamous death wobble. This is when Jeeps would begin to shake erratically after hitting a pothole. That's not what you expect from an off-roading vehicle. Electrical issues, suspension problems, oil leaks, and exhaust manifold cracks are other common problems that have plagued the brand. As for safety, the 2022 Wrangler Unlimited got a marginal safety rating in some IUHS crash tests. That's appalling for a car that starts at $34,000. With so many better options that cost less, there's no reason for anyone to risk their safety in a Wrangler. Number 1. GMC Yukon 6.2-liter engine. We began this list with a full-size SUV and we're going to end with another. The GMC Yukon is another iconic American brand with a reputation for safety, ruggedness, and reliability. In fact, IC Cars reports that 17.9% of GMC Yukon XLs cross 250,000 miles, while 14.6% of Yukons also do likewise. The only problem with these otherwise dependable trucks is the 6.2-liter V8 engines. These engines have a history of stalling, knocking, seized pistons, and lifter collapse. Then there is the direct injection system that is sensitive to fuel contaminants. When these components fail, they can cost up to $2,000 to repair. Another common fix is engine knocking, which can set you back $3,000. And let's hope the stalling doesn't cause a major accident. You can avoid this hassle by opting for the 5.3-liter V8 instead, or just get one of the more reliable full-size SUVs on our list. There, you have 13 SUVs that won't cause you repair worries and 2 that might force you to sell your house. Whatever you get, remember that your maintenance habits have a greater impact on longevity than the mechanical structure. We have many videos that will help you maintain your car like a mechanic. If you're ready to stop wasting money on repairs, watch 13 Habits That Quietly Took My Car Past 720,000 Miles.